Well, hello again. This is me. I'm Art. This this video the videos I do is unfiltered. I don't edit. I just go with the flow. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake. If I make, like I said, if I make a mistake, I make a mistake. I keep it up. I don't make money doing this. Some people, I'm pretty sure there's some people on YouTube. They try to monetize their videos so that way they every time you watch it, they make money. I don't do this for money. I do have a job. I pay, I get paid pretty good money to do what I have to do my job. That being said, sometimes I will curse, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I maybe, and sometimes I won't. Doesn't matter. Right now, you notice I'm drinking a beer. I was on vacation all this week. Came in this morning to work a little overtime because I need the money, and I start back to work regularly on Monday. And I hope things go well. For example, my supervisor who is over the unit or the unit that I do, supposedly he's going to be in, and we have to do our end of the year reviews. So I have a feeling he might say something about the incident I had with that other dude. He may not. Who knows? But that being said, I can't help that. One thing I can tell you is that I live in America, and America has very, I would say, stern but loose DUI laws. I did a mini video the other day to kind of show you what they consider drunk driving. And the funny thing is about drunk driving, the purpose of that little small video is like 5 minutes, no more than 5-10 minutes, is the fact that even if you drive, it's not just if you're driving in a moving car. It's if you had the intent of driving. If they feel that you're going to drive, then they're going to arrest you for drunk driving. Now, as I said before, that's kind of like bullshit. But in my opinion, if you are behind the wheel and you actually move the car, that I could say, yeah, that could be considered drunk driving because you actually moved the damn car, not sit in it. See, I could basically what I was saying in that little small video. I could sit up in my car, my car's in the driveway. I gotta replace some bulbs or try to replace some bulbs because I got pulled over last night. That's a different story. Now what happened is that I could take this big can of beer, sit in my car, and drink. Because I done that, because I sat in my car and drank, I'm drunk driving. In my own driveway? Yes, they can do that. I mean, in my opinion, it's really dumb. But if you talk to MAD or SAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, or Students Against Drunk Driving, or something like that, it's all legal. So that's neither here nor there. The thing is about DUIs, it will ruin your life. It will. No ifs, ands, or buts. it will ruin your life because here in America, they count it against you. No matter how long the periods are. Let's say, for example, I get busted for drunk driving 15 years from now. That'll be my third offense. Really? I'm that'll be my third offense. Can't you just like say, hey, after a certain amount of time we re-erase it? No, they keep it on the system. Sorry, they keep it on their. They keep it. They keep tabs on that. And it's like you sit around here and it's like, wow. See, in Michigan where I live, the third time you get busted for drunk driving, it all depends on what they call impaired driving or actual drunk driving. It's considered a felony, which means that I will have to face jail time. Maybe. All depends on the judge. And if I'm still working, I probably can lose my job. And so I mean, it's a very serious deal. But what makes it unreal is how they treat you after the DUI. The courts treat you like shit. If you do do what they tell you to do, they treat you less like shit. But they still treat you like shit. If you screw up a couple times, 9 times out of 10 you might face jail time. You might face jail time. May or may not be. Who knows? But then again, it's one other thing that the monetary aspects is very, depending upon what it is, it's costly. Even with me, paying that off was a struggle. But there's also a mental aspect to the DUI, which no one really talks about. So, for example, like for me, I lost my driving privileges for a month. So imagine, but the funny thing is this time around, my car broke down. So I couldn't drive it anyway. So that's win-win, right? But the thing is, let's put it this way. I had to find rides back and forth to work. Rides back and forth to A. He could drop me off and I could go to AA and I could walk home. until I was able to get my car fixed. Then when I was able to get my car fixed, I was on what they call restricted driving for 6 months. For 6 months, they give you restricted driving, which technically means you could technically drive to and from work, and any point in between to and from work. Or if you're going to AA or some kind of medical thing, or that includes psychiatric help or counseling or stuff like that, that's cool. So what happened is that you have to drive in the daytime. So, like for example, this weekend, if I had the DUI and it was this weekend, I can drive, but I had to be going to work. Well, I'm going to work today. Okay. And they really, I never got pulled over at that point, but that's okay. Then they might give you your license back. But like I said, there's a mental aspect of it because the pressure of trying to do the right thing, it will wear you down. For example, first you gotta work your job. You got that stress on the job. Then you have to go to this. Then you have to go to the AA meetings, which is more stressful because if you don't go to a certain amount of meetings in a week, they could violate you. I only had to go twice a week, which was good. Some people had to go 5 days. So, or what they call 5 times a week. I should rephrase that, 5 times a week. So let's say, for example, if I if I only wanted to do it on Tuesdays, I could find 2 meetings, attend those 2 meetings, and boom. Then you got to show proof that you went to the AA meeting, which goes against one of their traditions of anonymity, which means whoever shows up in AA, they don't talk about it. They don't say you was there. But with that sheet of paper, I have to say yes, you was in the AA, which breaks their tradition. But then again, here's a problem. This is where it gets weird. AA petitioned the courts, say yes, we can help these guys, because these guys are alcoholics. These guys who are drunk driving, they're alcoholics. So what happened? They had this working relationship in which, AA doesn't benefit from it. AA benefits from it, and the courts benefit from it. Actually, the courts don't benefit from it at all, really. How AA benefits is that fact that it gives them more people to show up at the meetings. That's the currency for AA is people at the meetings. And what happens is every AA group operates on its own and they do their own rules and everything else. You could donate to that group or not, which helps you out, okay? Because usually they provide coffee and cookies, okay, or snacks or something like that. But the thing is that it mentally wears you down. I mean, mentally you'll be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to do this again. It wears you down mentally, and then some of us will form a sense of depression. I suffer from depression normally, but this made it 10 times worse. So I mean, like I said, it's how it happens. Man, stupid weather. But one of the things that I could try to tell you is that, even though AA does this, it does kind of help you put things in perspective, kind of. But, like I said, it's neither here nor there. But the point I was trying to make, then I kind of digressed again, is the point it can add a sense of depression to you. Why? Because you can't do certain things like you used to. Like, for example, before I can go out anytime that I want, day or night. Oh, I'm on restricted driving, so that means I only can go out in certain times. I can't just go out at midnight to get a snack. If I get hungry, like around here we call it, some of those fast food places open at 4 o'clock in the morning or something like that, or two or three, and they call it the fourth meal. I can't do that. Can't. You could, but you'd be risking everything, and I don't feel like doing all that. Like I said, it really tears you down. Really, really tears you down. And to tell you the truth, I see a lot of people who are kind of broken. Because they're like, oh, I gotta come here. Especially when you have to go to probation. You sit there like, oh. And then again, because of the DUI, some people lose their jobs because they can't drive to work. And they say, well, that's the price. Well, you shouldn't have been drunk driving. Well, here's the thing. If someone has a job, like, okay, I just thought about it. Let's say, for example, you're what they call a commercial driver. That means I drive a truck, I drive a bus. My job is entailing a lot of driving. As soon as you get that drunk driving conviction, you lost your job. You lost your license to do all that. And it'll be harder for you to get that back. Very hard to get that back. So basically, say for example, you're a truck driver or something like that. You do all this, and guess what? You just lost everything. So I say it's kind of serious. I mean, this one guy, he was a therapist. He went to school, got it, for therapy or whatever, psychology or something like that. So what means he has that plaque that says, I'm a licensed psychiatrist. I can dispense medications to you. His DUI stripped him of that. So the thing that he learned to get the kind of job that he needed or he wanted, he lost it because of the DUI. And that's why I say DUI fucking sucks. So, he had to find a new job. And the job he found paid way less than what he used to make. And you see, that's kind of messed up. You see how messed up that is? See how messed up that is? It's because of the fact that, hey, these DUIs suck. And the laws, they suck too. They should be more clarified. Or they should make some kind of allowance. So, for example, if you get a DUI, what we're going to do is that we're not going to, we won't post it. We'll keep it on, not download kind of thing. But if you have a job, we'll give you special allowances so that way you can keep that job. Otherwise you're kind of screwed. So my next DUI, and I don't plan on getting another one, the next DUI, I will probably lose my job. Because my job, you can't be a felon and have my job. You can't, or like say for example, when I was getting in there, they do a background check and you couldn't have a felony. So if you get a felony in the midst of all that, will you still be able to keep your job? My job, I don't know. Never thought about it, because I don't think about doing this. I don't think about getting another DUI. Right now, what I look at is, what can I say to help someone else out? What can I say? I can't say anything. And the reason why I can't say anything is because everybody's different. Everybody's different. No one thinks the same. No one acts the same. So I can tell you a whole bunch of stuff, but you might take it the wrong way. I might say some things and you might not like what I have to say, or you might agree with what I have to say. Tell you the truth, I can tell you how the DUI affected me, but I can't say how it affects somebody else. Only what I've heard. But anyway, one thing I can tell you is one, DUI suck. Two, they suck even harder. And three, once you have one, which one is more than enough, or even two, it's hard. It's very hard. And getting back to what I wanted to, and you think about it, it will affect your psyche, because what happens is you can't hang out with certain people. One of the things about, if you get a DUI, you're not supposed to hang out at certain places. In other words, you can't go to that bar with your friends. Like, for example, if your friends have a birthday party, you can't go to the bar with them, or you're not supposed to. Because guess what? If you get pulled over after you leave the bar, even though you didn't drink and you got a DUI, they might try to give you another DUI charge or probation violation charge. They might try. And I'm sitting right here and I was like, well, because I remember my probation officer told me that. I said, well, here's the question: where can I go? Where can I go? Fast food. So that means for the next 2 years, I got to eat fast food morning, day, and night. You go to a restaurant, 9 times out of 10, they serve alcohol. I like to go to Applebee's and Chili's and stuff like that. So guess what? They serve alcohol. I go to the store, they serve alcohol. Go to 7-Eleven. Nowadays, like, little convenience stores sell alcohol. So I can go there and they'll sell alcohol. So I'm not somewhere around it. And what happens is, when you see that, you're like, man, I can't drink. And since I can't drink, I feel bad. And since I feel bad, I can't do things. And, I feel like I'm left out of stuff. And it's a downward spiral. It's a very downward spiral. And the thing is that, yeah, I got depressed because I was sitting around here and it's like, I was used to going out every Saturday, whether I got drunk or not, socializing with people. I couldn't. I stayed at home. Not that sitting at home isn't bad. It's the fact that you have to sit at home. And it will fuck with your head. It will fuck around with your head. Basically, that's all I have to say, really, about this. Sorry. Right now, I'm mentally exhausted. Mentally messed up. And even talking about this DUI somewhat depressing me because I remember. But anyway, well, quick story. Last night, I got pulled over because of my brake lights. What happened was, where the license plate is, there's a set of lights. They were out. Since my license plate was out. And then what happens, the brake lights was kind of stuck on. They had to pull me over. They just had to pull me over. And of course, the police officer walks up. Hey, this is like about 2:30 in the morning. I was driving someone home. Both, it was a man and a woman. Comes up both sides. I'm like, okay. Had the ID out. I had this out. I had stuff ready to go. Had my hands up like this. And when he saw my hands like this, then I was like, okay, I can let him down. So he got a quick view of what was in my in my car. My friend, she was like, I don't have to tell you my name, because one of the legal rights, they don't have to. You don't have to ask their question if you're a passenger. If you're a passenger of a car, you don't have to say anything. I have to. So I give them my license. Proof of, oh, your registration's good. Oh, your proof of insurance is out. Like, oh, you left it at home? Like, oh, the new one's not here? Oh, well, that's weird. Thought I did. So I got to find my proof of insurance and print that out for the next time. So what happened is he said, did you know your plate light was out? I'm like, no. Do you know your brake light? Are you riding with the brakes? I'm like, no. Because like I have this overhead brake light. It stayed on. And I'm like, isn't it supposed to stay on? No, it's supposed to be off. It's only supposed to come on when you brake. I'm like, oh, okay. Did you know? Of course not. How would I know that? If I'm sitting here driving in a car, how would I know what's going on behind me? I can tell if one brake light is out. I can see, like, at that time of night, it's dark, and when we're driving on the freeway, I can see a red glow on both sides. So that I know my lights are working. But, here's the thing. I'll look up and it's like, I don't know. But anyway, after about 15 minutes, he comes back. You got any questions for me? Like, no. And they let me go. Oh, I'm sorry. One of the first things they asked me was I drinking? I'm like, no. That's the first thing they asked me. I'm like, So you probably saw I had a drunk driving conviction. When they pull up my license plate, they'll probably say, oh, this guy has a drunk driving conviction. He has 2. So the first thing you're going to ask is, have you been drinking? Nope. Which I wasn't. Totally sober. Didn't even drink the non-alcoholic beer because I'm out of it. But so right now I gotta try to replace this bulb, so I won't get pulled over again with the same kind of situation. So you see, if I was people, not if I was you, sorry. What I like for you to do is see my other video. It's like quick 5 minutes. I talk about how they look at drunk driving. It's entertaining. It was fun for me to make it, but I think it's entertaining. If you want to respond. That's cool. If you don't want to respond, that's fine too. I can't help it. Okay. Well, I better go do this before the sun goes out, and I got about 3 more hours of sun ish. So I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, by the way, I'm going to try to do another video for every day for the next week. I'm going to try to see if I can come up with stuff to talk about to do this. So without further ado, I'll see you later. And this is probably one of the longest videos I had, of 30 minutes. Close to 30 minutes. Okay? Thanks a lot.